Late Night Health continues. Mark Pilon is our guest. He is the executive director of the Los Angeles County chapter of the Susan G. Komen Foundation. We're talking about the Circle of Promise. In studio, we have Nick Newmont from the Newmont Center in Agoura Hills, California, and of course the insane Darrell Wayne joins us as well. We're talking about the Circle of Promise, and I know Nick has a very important question to ask. But I wanted everybody to know that the Circle of Promise is not only in L.A., but throughout the country, is it not?
Yes, it is. You can go to the Susan G. Komen website, and you'll see it. But our strongest initiative is in California.
Gotcha. Nick, you had a very good question.
I did. Hi again, Mark.
Hello.
The question I had, relating back when you were talking about for people who may be economically challenged, there are clinics that they can go to which sounded like they were free. My question on behalf of the listeners is, what is the quality of work in a free clinic versus a high-paid hospital or institution?
Well, the way that Komen works is we grant money out. LA grants money to local hospitals to cover X amount of mammograms. And we have that at like Beverly Hospital, Glendale Memorial Hospital, White Memorial, Valley Breast Clinic. So all of these places are really highly rated. They're excellent facilities, and you're going to get the same service that you do if you've got a full insurance that covers everything.
Okay, good. Now I have another question. I just thought of this as you were speaking. So earlier, you were saying that sometimes when people don't go to the doctor, it could be due to transportation issues. So what if the right people got together with money and put together shuttle buses that were funded and went around and made that available and would take a van of 8 people or so and took them to the clinic? Mm-hmm. I mean, I can spend other people's money very easily.
Such a gift.
Yeah.
Watts Clinic does that. They have some vans, and they will provide transportation. We've actually done that with them because we do the mobile mammography, plus we do mammography days that are specific for Komen at the Watts Clinic. So they'll send a van after an individual or a group of women to get them in. I did want to clarify one thing when you were talking about quality of imaging and things like that. Mm-hmm. Most of the hospitals do have digital, and there are some of the mammogram units, the mobile ones, that are still analog. Almost all of them have gone to digital, but there are still a few that do analog imaging, and it's obviously not quite as advanced as the digital is, but it's still. I hate to say it's better than nothing, but it's a starting point.
Right.
It's at least getting somebody in if there's any abnormality. Then they'll go further with other imaging and things like that. And
there's a relatively new procedure. I think it's about 20 years old. Medical thermal imaging, and my understanding is that it can actually detect the start of breast cancer even earlier than mammography.
Yes, for the most part, that's what it's extremely sensitive and can find things much smaller than you'll find in analog or even some digital mammography. And
my other understanding is that it's not painful or discomfort at all.
No, I don't think that it is. The unfortunate side of that is that is not covered by most HMOs, and it's not covered in like the Every Woman Counts program because there aren't really that many machines around that have that capacity. That might be a PPO something, where you're gonna pay 20% of the 80, and the insurance will pay 80, but it's a much more expensive procedure.
Gotcha. For the individuals. What are the goals for the Circle of Promise here in Los Angeles County?
To really start being able to track and see that we are making a difference. We are getting women to come back at least every 2 years. I mean, we would prefer every year, but at least every 2 years after they're 40 years old. And what we're doing is somebody has a mammogram, then we're calling them next year saying, well, come on now, we're going to have that mobile unit at Northgate, or you can go to Watts, or you can go over here, and really trying to encourage them. And one of the things that we were thrilled with over the last 2 years that we were working on this really strong is we did over 2,000 mammograms. And we got at least 10 women back in who had never or had rarely ever been seen. So they came back the second year. So it was like, my God, progress,
Which is amazing. That really is. I know that I think it's next week or the week after we're going to be doing a segment. You have a big culinary event coming up as a fundraiser. First time that you've done that.
It's the first time that's been done in the U.S.
Right, and so we're looking forward to participating with you on that. Mark, thank you very much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. What, again, is the website for the Susan G. Komen Foundation?
Just go to www.KomenLACounty.org.
Do that one more time.
World Wide Web, KomenLACounty.org.
Hey, thank you very much. We appreciate your time, and we'll talk again very soon.
Thank you, Mark.
Okay,
take care. You guys have a great
Mark.
week.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Okay, Late Night Health will continue with Dr. Christine Horner in just a couple of moments, talking about summer detox, improving your skin, and getting higher energy levels. We'll find out more about that as Late Night Health continues.